And aside from consolidation, aside from job loss, aside from a pretty pessimistic outlook, when you look at these deals, I mean, what does this potentially mean for the entertainment industry at large?
Yeah, well, I mean, what it means is that there's one less player on the board, and especially with someone as historic as Warner Brothers, as you mentioned, one of the oldest studios, 100 years of history, a lot in Burbank, all those things could be, going the way of the dodo. If a technology company like Netflix does end up taking over, or really even if Paramount does and combines the two. I think this is one further step. If you think about, the Ellisons as a tech family, with Larry Ellison, of course, being founder of Oracle, or Netflix kind of being the great tech interloper. I think it's one further step in the tech industry kind of swallowing Hollywood whole. And they've clearly, already won that battle if tech versus traditional entertainment, but now they're kind of just it seems like gobbling up every single asset they can find. So I think that again, we are in a state of disruption and a state of transition in the entertainment industry. And in 3 years, it could look very different. But if a studio with a brand like Warner Brothers, I mean Jack Warner, like one of kind of the foundational pieces of Hollywood, is gone, that's kind of sad if you're a sentimentalist.
And if you're looking at this, if you're someone who's followed this story, the Ellisons were the front runners in acquiring Warner Brothers. Netflix won the bidding war. Paramount launched the hostile takeover bid. What are the next steps here? What specifically are you looking out for next?
Well, I think we're going to see a lot of fighting in the press, or in press releases. At the very least, there's going to be a lot of like strong words on either side over the next few weeks. Like one person described it to me as a fist fight. I think that is pretty accurate about what the process is going to look like. The Ellisons could file a lawsuit that Warner Brothers negotiated in bad faith. It seems like, based on the letter they sent to David Zaslav last week, that could be in the offing. That seems unlikely to me that would be successful, but that could, temporarily block the deal from moving forward. Of course, if the Department of Justice files an antitrust lawsuit, that will kind of add to the process. Federal Trade Commission will, begin reviewing this deal over the next several months. Netflix says that it'll take 12 to 18 months, best case scenario. So I think that this will not be the last, probably even conversation that we have about this topic. I think there's many more shoes to drop. The Ellisons, they're offering $30 a share. I part of me thinks that he had texted David Zaslav that that wasn't even their best and final offer. So they could, of course, increase their offer to shareholders to create kind of um, give them an offer they can't refuse to quote a Paramount property in The Godfather, and make things more interesting. So I do think that there are many, many more developments in this process to happen in the coming months.
And I know that we will talk about those developments, but as we sit here right now, we're still waiting for all these other shoes to drop. But is there any indication of who's in a better position right now? Is it Paramount or is it Netflix?
Well, it's Netflix because they have an agreement offer in place on the table. I mean, I think like if you were putting handicapping odds on it, the fact that they won the bidding war puts them in the best position possible. I tend to believe that this regulatory process will be really really tough for them. I'm not saying that there's no chance that it goes through, but I think it will be mount the administration, whether Donald Trump gets involved or not, it will be a really, really tough antitrust case to make against them. And of course, from the Paramount side and the Ellison side, with the combination of David Ellison's money, Redbird Capital's money, we now know from a filing that there's $24 billion of sovereign wealth funds involved in this deal. They have the money, again, to get it done. If you're offering 80 billion, what's another 20 billion? What's another 20 on top of that? If they wanted to put it out there, they could. Of course, that would paint the narrative going forward to be, that they overpaid, and it would be tough for them to rebound off that. But I would say Netflix. Oh, sorry, Netflix is certainly in the best position, but I tend to think that the Ellisons are well positioned to keep the fight up.
Well, certainly a lot